with kids, all kids are different. You have to approach them on an individual basis. You have to kind of know the child. But to me, in my opinion, I feel like you can start talking to them as soon as you want, like when you're pregnant, when they're born. The best way to do that to me is through books. That's how you kind of like start to get them thinking about it. I mean, from a very early age, with both of them as infants, I was reading them books about veganism. One of my favorite books, this is actually one of my oldest child's favorite books, he's 3, it's a book called Happy Animals, Friends Not Food. Just that title alone, he would like repeat that sometimes, like when he was around food, because he would be like, friends not food, animals are not food. Or like you give them like a simple concept they can grasp, like we eat plants, not animals. We don't eat animals. And literally, I'm telling you, like, people underestimate how smart kids are. They are sponges. One of you said that earlier.
Yes, they are. Children are so freaking smart.
Be careful what you say.
No, they're so smart.
They are.
I think kids are sometimes smarter than adults in a sense that they can connect so much deeper with their empathy.
Exactly.
I mean, sometimes I talk to adults and I'm like, look at what happens to animals. Like, isn't this horrible? And they're like, yeah, it's bad, but I'm going to go to Chick-fil-A. And then you tell a kid this.
And they're like, no.
And they're horrified. And then they go around and they, tell their friends and they're like, no, you shouldn't be eating this. So it kind of ties back into the social pressure. What advice would you have for parents when it comes to school events or birthday parties or even bullies at school that might be going up to your kid and being like, why does your lunch look different than mine?
Oh, yeah. I have tons of tips. But just to circle back real quick, I just wanted to say this story real quick, because the other day we were at a restaurant and, the waiter was asking my child what he wanted. And there was something on the menu that was like, plant-based chicken and waffles, right? And I told him to say what he wanted. And he said he wanted the waffles. And I was like, yeah, so he wants the plant-based chicken and waffles. And he said, no chicken. And I was like, oh, no. I said, don't worry, it's not real chicken. So he gets it. And he's 3. So again,
cry.
Don't underestimate these kids.
Cute.
He's 3 years old and he gets it, and books can really help. So now, kind of shifting it to schools, holidays, social events, all those things.
Right.
So yes, that can be a source of fear for many. When it comes to, let's say, birthday parties, right? If it's one thing that I have noticed at every single birthday party that I've gone to, it's the same menu.
Right.
It's pizza and cake or cupcake.
Yeah.
And
then sugar bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm like, these are children. What the heck
But
is wrong
isn't
with
it
you?
hard for the child to see the trauma on the plate and know where it came from, and then
or just feel excluded? I would think that kids would just feel like, oh, I can't do it. I know your children are very young,
They're very young.
like, have you experienced that already?
So again, every kid might be different, but I will tell you, with my child, and he's 3 now, he does not care. Like,
I love that.
He's too busy playing. Like, at that age, their main job, their only job in life is to have fun. They are just, when they go to these parties, like my kid, he is just off to the races. When he goes to a party, he's off doing his own thing. A lot of times he doesn't even notice the food.
Right.
And I always bring something with me.
I was going to say that. I'll just bring like my own little like vegan birthday cake slice and like birthday party bag for them. Do you find other people bullying you or like trying to egg on your kid to try things, like family members?
Absolutely not.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And again, it could just be my experience, but like, I've just never run into that. People are so supportive, especially when it comes to kids, right?
Right.
Because people might think one thing about adults,
right.
like, okay, vegan, I could never do that. Right. But when it comes to a child, a lot of people really want them to feel included. Like my neighbors, especially, I will say, are really good about that. Whenever they invite me over, they actually go out of their way to make sure there are vegan options.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't say the same for like all of my friends, but neighbors for sure. It's kind of surprising. It's actually like the people who I don't know very well, but know that I'm vegan are the ones that usually go out of their way the most.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, to include vegan options.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really thoughtful. And you would just be so surprised as how many people, really want to make sure that your child feels included. Now, I will say without a doubt, the best experience I had was going to an actual vegan kid's birthday party.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. When I tell you, I arrived and I didn't have to bring anything, and I didn't have to like police my child and like make sure that he wasn't like, going off and getting things that weren't vegan. Everything was vegan. So it was just an amazing experience. And a lot of people don't have that because, a lot of vegans don't have other vegan friends. I know I didn't. I had to reach out to vegans online in order to develop a vegan circle, and in real life vegan circle. So I actually reached out to a vegan mom.
A vegan support system is very important, and there are groups you can get connected on Facebook. So let's say your kid did come up to you and say, hey mom, I really want to eat this cupcake. They're having these cupcakes in school. What would you do, and how would you handle that situation?
Yeah, so my situation is a little bit different because I have such little ones where they're just and because I don't cook with a lot of sugar, they actually don't have like
that craving.
Yeah, they don't have that craving for like, really sweet things. Even when they do try something sweet, like my oldest, he's just like, whoa.
Yeah.
this is, he's like, I don't like, he actually sometimes is like, I don't like this.
That's amazing.
Because like a lot of times, even when I bring a vegan option, like a vegan cupcake, it's actually just a muffin that I made, a not very sweet muffin with, I put some like icing on top. Yeah. So for older kids, I'd say it's a little bit different because you can actually show them documentaries. You can, explain the why behind it. And I think they're a lot less likely to want to break from that. Like a lot of vegan parents that I've talked to have older children, because they talk to them so much about why they're vegan, they're not even interested in it. Like they're little like activists themselves. Like they talk to their friends and they reverse it. Like instead of them feeling peer pressured, they put the peer pressure on their friends and educate them on why they shouldn't be doing it. And there was actually a book that was written by a vegan kid for vegan kids. And I highly recommend this for parents. It's called 50 Comebacks for Vegan Kids. Right? So like on the cover, you see things like, you need meat to be strong, but humans are carnivores. What I eat is a personal choice. Humans evolved to eat meat. Where do you get your protein? He took all those, common like peer pressure type statements that people like other kids might make to kids. And he came up with the perfect comebacks for each statement. So
he
any
was like,
comeback
I'm
that
tired of this shit. He was like, I'm going to write a freaking book.
Everybody should read this.
Yeah, that's so cool.
And that I think can really help older kids like navigate the peer pressures that they might be feeling once they're that age. It's really about reversing it, you know, and and it's really instilling that confidence into your kids to make sure that they are, living their lives based on their value system and not what other people are telling them, this is what you should be doing, or why don't you just try this, you know, it's just a little cupcake, but if you can teach your kids to just like really, tap into that confidence and really instill that confidence in them, they'll be able to resist that peer pressure. But I think this book can really help. It's a really nice practical resource for kids once they get to that age and they're, they're being tested by their social circles.